Okay, so here we are again. We're taking videos and, my messy shop. Um, so look what I made. I did this bioplastic the other day with a little tube of, from the dollar store aluminum foil. Um, and it's now about as hard as steel. It is the original carbon fiber, because the paper is carbon, of course. Um, and what we have is Gorilla Glue on the outside, and I've got rather more than I actually needed on there. So I worked on that today so that, this is where I was holding it. And this is an experiment. I'm not like trying to make something other than just see how the stuff acts and what it does, because I never used the Gorilla Glue before. I usually use Elmer's glue. But what I did today was I mixed the Gorilla Glue. It's now permanently glued to the bottom of my pan there. No, not really. Okay, so we got it off. Just barely. If I hadn't done it right then and there, I never would have gotten it off. So what I did was I mixed some acetone and Gorilla Glue and some of my dust. Couple of spoons of this dust in the acetone first, and then I put the Gorilla Glue in and mixed it up. And you can see it stayed, pretty. It didn't like come out of solution. Stayed in solution, which is good. Um, and when I put it on this, I can put it on in a very controlled fashion, as you can see. Of course, kind of holding it so that it stays round, more or less. Um, and it's almost dry. I did it about an hour ago. And so instead of taking all night to dry, it's now almost dry. And the dust goes with the liquid in through the paper, and so what we have here is a piece of cardboard tubing that now has double covalent bonds through it. And what I'm going to do is put some more of that on there, just kind of straight and thinner than this one. And we'll try to. This is really cool, though. I mean, really cool. It feels really cool. It feels like carbon fiber does. When you get a carbon fiber bicycle or whatever, that's they feel really really neato. And the color is, of course, the color of the AUPD dust. Um, and it's interesting because way over there in the corner, on the potty chair, there's a white dresser. Where'd it go? Right there. See, the very, very corner of that dresser is just between the boxes. And that dresser is made out of this same stuff. It's what they call lacquer furniture in China. British call it lacquer furniture. I don't know what the Chinese call it. Um, and it doesn't have any lacquer at all. It's this stuff. Um, and it's hard. My wife thought it was steel, thought it was metal. Um, and it is actually because it's AUPD. Mostly the whiter kaolinite clay is high in palladium, and it's got a kind of gold color to it because it's got a little gold in it too. They form together in volcanic ash, and that's what this is. It's volcanic ash. Okay, so here's another type of carbon fiber. It's bamboo. And this bamboo, you know how bamboo is. It's real brittle, right? Real brittle, and the point would get dull real quick, but not anymore. We now have something that you can, it's structural. And if I take regular bamboo and do this, the hollow kind, um, I can make structural stuff out of bamboo that will not break and splinter and all of that quite so easily. And of course, it's hollow. And bamboo is just about the hardest wood there is on Earth, other than there's a type of wood here in the Sierra Estrella where I live called ironwood. And it's actually the hardest wood on Earth. And this stuff is harder than ironwood now. And that's something. So, we're going to have cheap carbon fiber for everybody that you can make yourself. You don't have to have a bunch of fancy equipment, obviously. And, I'm like sick, and I've been screaming and cramping all day, and so I'm not doing anything other than having fun and trying to entertain myself here. When I start making things, I actually know how to make things. And I take my time and make them look nice and stuff. When I'm just playing, it doesn't really matter what I'm doing. This was not even an experiment. This was what I was stirring my stuff with and spreading it on the tube, right? On my tube here. This tube is now shiny and smooth. And you can paint it, you can polish it, you can slice it and dice it with a saw like a piece of metal. And it is, I believe, flame proof. Let's find out. Nope, apparently not. Okay. Where'd it go? Oh, come on. Bum, bum, bum. So cool. We'll see what we can do about the flame proof part. The Elmer's glue is flame proof. This stuff's apparently not. We'll mix them together, see what happens.